For more than 2 decades, people have been talking about the tension between 50 Cent and Jay-Z. It has stretched across different eras of hip-hop, different business moves, and different stages of their personal lives. Sometimes the rivalry has been loud and obvious, playing out in songs, interviews, and public comments. Other times it has been quiet, almost invisible, like something resting beneath the surface. But even during the silent moments, it never fully disappeared. From the very start, 50 Cent made it clear that he saw Jay-Z as someone to compete with. He did not act shy about it. He did not try to hide behind polite words. When 50 first entered the music industry, he came in with bold confidence. He was aggressive, fearless, and unafraid to challenge established stars. At that time, Jay-Z was already a powerful figure in hip-hop. By the late 1990s, he had built a strong catalog, earned respect from fans and critics, and created a growing business network. He was not just a rapper, he was becoming a mogul. So when 50 Cent began mentioning Jay-Z's name in his lyrics, people noticed. It was not random, it was strategic. In 1999, 50 released a track called How to Rob. The song was playful on the surface. He imagined how he would rob different celebrities in the industry. Jay-Z was one of the names included. Some listeners laughed and treated it like satire. Others believed it crossed a line. Jay-Z responded during a performance at Hot 97 Summer Jam. He delivered a line that quickly became famous. "I'm about $1. What the F*** is 50 Cent?" The crowd reacted instantly. It was witty and dismissive at the same time. Many people assumed that would be the end of it. After all, hip-hop has always included competitive bars and ego battles. Diss tracks are part of the culture. But for 50 Cent, moments like that do not simply fade away. He is known for remembering every slight. He does not let comments slide easily. While some artists cool off after a disagreement, 50 tends to hold onto those memories. He waits. He watches how things unfold. Then, when the opportunity feels right, he responds. Over the years, their dynamic changed. There were periods when things appeared calm. In 2007, Jay-Z even joined the remix of 50 Cent's song, I Get Money. That collaboration surprised many fans. It suggested that perhaps the tension had softened. However, even on that track, Jay-Z made sure to remind everyone of his position in New York. The competition never completely vanished. It just evolved. As time went on, both men grew in different directions. Jay-Z focused heavily on business expansion. He built Roc Nation into a major company. He invested in various industries, from sports management to tech ventures. Eventually, he reached billionaire status, becoming one of the most financially successful figures in hip-hop history. His image shifted from street hustler to polished executive. He appeared in boardrooms and at high-profile events with powerful corporate leaders. He became a symbol of transformation and upward mobility. 50 Cent also developed business ventures. He invested in television production, beverages, and other enterprises. However, his public personality remained different from Jay-Z's. 50 did not aim for a quiet, refined image. He stayed outspoken and unpredictable. He joked about other celebrities online. He posted memes. He made sharp comments that sparked controversy. He seemed comfortable living in chaos, while Jay-Z appeared more controlled and careful. In 2017, when Jay-Z released the album 444, it was a reflective project. The music focused on maturity, family, and growth. Many fans praised its honesty, but 50 Cent criticized it online. He joked that it sounded like music wealthy people would play on a golf course. Beneath the humor was a serious message. 50 believed Jay-Z had drifted too far from the streets that shaped his identity. Whether people agreed or not, that criticism planted doubt among some listeners. The tension between them has never been only about music. It has also involved power, influence, and control within the industry. Jay-Z gained major partnerships, including involvement with the NFL and oversight of the Super Bowl halftime show. Reports later claimed that Jay-Z initially did not want 50 Cent to perform at the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. According to those accounts, Eminem insisted that 50 be included. If that is accurate, it would have been another moment that 50 likely stored in his memory. Then, in late 2024, events took a serious turn. In October 2024, a federal civil lawsuit was filed in the Southern District of New York. The plaintiff, identified as Jane Doe, claimed that when she was 13 years old, she was assaulted at a private gathering following the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards. In December 2024, the complaint was updated to identify Celebrity as Sean Jay-Z Carter. The allegation shocked many people. Jay-Z denied the claims strongly. His legal team responded with firm statements. For some observers, this was the first time his name had been directly tied to such accusations in a formal legal document. At that moment, 50 Cent's voice became very visible. For years before the lawsuit, 50 had made comments about certain parties in the entertainment industry and about questionable environments. At times, those remarks sounded like jokes. However, when the lawsuit surfaced, people began revisiting his past interviews. Some wondered if he had been hinting at something deeper. After the case became public, 50 started posting about Jay-Z again. He questioned why Jay had remained quiet during other industry scandals involving people in similar circles. In interviews, he said he found it interesting that Jay had been silent while others faced investigations. Although he framed his comments as curiosity, many observers believe the timing was intentional. One important point involved Jay-Z's official statement. In response to the lawsuit, Jay said that if the claims were true, criminal charges should be filed. On the surface, that sounded like confidence. However, 50 pointed out that the alleged incident took place in 2000. Because of legal time limits, criminal prosecution would likely not be possible. By highlighting that detail, 50 suggested that Jay's statement might have been more about public image than genuine legal risk. That argument gave 50 leverage in public discussions. He did not have to prove anything himself. He only needed to encourage people to question what they were hearing. As the conversation spread online, some people asked whether 50 Cent had influenced the situation. There is no verified evidence that he did. The lawsuit's timeline began before his amplified commentary. There is no proven connection between him and the plaintiff's attorney. Still, shaping public perception does not require creating a legal case. It requires timing and platform. And 50 had both. He had already been developing a documentary related to misconduct in the entertainment world. He had millions of followers on social media. He had years of interviews that could be revisited. When the allegations became public, he became one of the loudest voices addressing them. He even shared an AI-generated image that showed Jay-Z being arrested. Some saw it as a joke. Others believed it was meant to influence how people pictured the situation. Regardless of intention, it added to the online narrative. The situation was complicated further by Jay-Z's past. As a teenager, he shot his older brother during an argument. In 1999, he was involved in a stabbing incident at a nightclub and later pleaded guilty to assault. Jay-Z has spoken openly about those events, explaining that they were part of a violent environment he eventually left behind. Even so, critics sometimes point to that history when questioning his character. 50 Cent also has a difficult past. He survived being shot 9 times. He has faced lawsuits and public disputes. However, he often presents himself as someone who openly acknowledges his rough background instead of hiding it behind corporate polish. Whether that presentation is fully authentic or partly strategic, it creates a contrast with Jay-Z's more reserved image. In February 2025, the lawsuit against Jay-Z was dismissed with prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled. Reports indicated that recordings had surfaced in which the accuser allegedly admitted that Jay-Z did not assault her and that her lawyer encouraged her to include him in the suit. Jay-Z later filed a defamation lawsuit against the accuser and her attorney. Legally speaking, this outcome was a significant victory for Jay-Z. However, public perception does not always move in sync with court decisions. Doubt can linger, especially when amplified by social media commentary. At the heart of this ongoing tension is the issue of narrative control. Jay-Z has built a legacy based on discipline, business success, and cultural influence. He represents transformation and upward progress. 50 Cent represents blunt honesty, confrontation, and constant commentary. In the current digital landscape, loud voices often spread faster than carefully crafted legal statements. Both men share similarities. They grew up in difficult environments in New York. They experienced violence. They built businesses beyond music. They think strategically, yet they approach power differently. Jay-Z gathers influence quietly and protects it. 50 gathers attention openly and uses it to shape conversations. The central question is not whether 50 created the allegations. There is no evidence to suggest that. The more important question is whether he positioned himself to guide the public conversation when Jay-Z's reputation was challenged. If the goal was to ensure that every accusation received widespread attention, then 50 succeeded. He highlighted inconsistencies. He referenced past conflicts. He encouraged ongoing discussion. Meanwhile, Jay-Z appears to be focusing on forward movement. He continues managing his enterprises. He makes public appearances with his family. He responds through legal channels instead of online exchanges. Ultimately, this rivalry is about legacy. Both men care deeply about how history will remember them. Jay-Z wants to be viewed as a cultural icon who overcame his past and built something lasting. 50 Cent wants to be remembered as someone who never stayed silent and always spoke his truth. The lawsuit may be closed, but the competition continues in another form. It is no longer just about rap verses. It is about perception, storytelling, and influence in an age where information spreads quickly and rarely disappears completely. Whether 50 is playing a long strategic game or simply enjoying attention depends on perspective. What is clear is that he understands timing, audience behavior, and the power of narrative. Jay-Z can win in court. He can sign new partnerships. He can expand his empire. But controlling every story told about him is impossible. And as long as 50 Cent has a platform and an audience, he will continue sharing his version of events in his own unmistakable style.